All right, friends, I just left Vintage Hill, and sorry that not much has happened yet, but I talked with Jeff about, he's the owner of Vintage Hill, and he's been sort of consulting with me on this greenhouse to like help me not do this terribly. So I told him about some things that are going on in the greenhouse, and he gave me some suggestions, and I am very thankful for his knowledge. However, I do now have to dig 6 to 8 3-foot holes, put a piece of wood in it, put some concrete, and attach it to the base of the greenhouse, because I was telling him how it's still wobbly, and we're like, why is it still wobbly? He asked me if it was cemented into the ground, and I said no, because I found an alternative method, and he's like, no. Absolutely not. You need to have that cemented into the ground. And as soon as I heard him say that, I was like, you know what, you're right, that actually makes sense. And I'm embarrassed that I didn't think about that. I think maybe I was trying to cut a corner. I think a lot of it also is that the greenhouse in the original plans was 8 feet smaller, so maybe it wasn't as big of a concern at that point, but just with it being 12 feet tall, it's gonna need some anchoring. So when I go to Menards right now, I need to get a post hole digger now as well, and some quick concrete. So that's gonna be probably most of my week getting that done. And so I was driving to Menards now, and I missed my turn twice. And every time I come to Vintage Hill, well, not every time, but like a lot of the time that I come, I'm like, I'm right next to an A&W, which has root beer floats, which is like my favorite dessert. I think somehow my brain just wanted me to come here. So we're gonna get a root beer float, probably also some food because I'm hungry, and I'm gonna get hangry if I don't feed the beast, aka my belly, not something else. Nobody comment thinking that I have a bun in the oven or something. Okay. All right, greenhouse exhaust fan acquired. And oh, also post hole digger acquired. I got just a green one that I saw at Menards, and I just started to try to dig a hole. We're gonna do it on the inside. So again, I talked with Jeff about this, and he said to do it on the inside because that would be less visible. I started, and this is gonna take a really long time. And the foundation of the greenhouse is actually like a type of rock that like hardens over time. So the top layer is like very hard, and I think I'm gonna have to come out with like a shovel, possibly even a handheld shovel, to dig down past the point where that, like, I don't even know how thick the foundation part is, like the rock. It might be a foot, it might be 6 inches, I don't remember. But that is not going to be very fun. However, today's a really nice day to be out doing it, so I might do that. But I do have some plants inside that need to be watered, and just some things in general that I need to get done in there. So before I resign myself to manual labor in here for the rest of the day, I am going to go inside and do a little bit of stuff in there, in the houseplant realm, because it's gonna be a day. I definitely consider myself an optimist, but in situations like with the greenhouse, I feel like anytime something goes wrong or like we have a setback, I get really upset about it. And I was watching someone else's YouTube video of them building their greenhouse, and it was DIY Danny, by the way. She had a really great like 4-part series, and it seemed like whenever she had a setback, she kind of just like it definitely affected her, but it was way more chill and calm, and it wasn't as like emotional and intense. And I do really admire that, because I want this to be a fun process, and I feel like if I get really upset and worked up every time something goes wrong or we have a setback, it's not going to be very fun anymore. So I am going to do my best to live into my optimism and just roll with the punches, you know? Oh, Koopy. Yeah, he's really good at bringing in the welcome wagon. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna roll with the punches, and we're gonna be an optimist, because why not? You know, what else do we have besides staying positive and being, staying positive. And actually, speaking of being positive, I just saw out of the corner of my eye, where is it? There she is, a Hoya bloom. She is at it again. She is always blooming. And look at this beautiful new leaf on my Thai constellation. She is so gorgeous. And my elbow is pregnant. I don't know if you can see that. So definitely we have some good things going for us. And it's gonna be fine. So in my water today, I'm going to be adding in SNS 209, and I've talked about this product so many times, and in my last vlog, I ordered it with you so that you could see what that process was like. But this time I read the instructions, like just to remind myself how to use it. And you guys, it says here that you can also use it as a foliar spray in addition to a systemic, and I found somebody online who said that it works pretty well as a foliar spray as well. So the way that it works is this is a concentrate, and this was I think $24. It arrived the next day after I purchased it. It was absolutely wild. So I figured out that this cap is actually the size of about a half a tablespoon. So that makes it a lot easier so you don't have to like try to eyeball it and get it wrong or get your measuring cups out every single time. And you add a cap full of this to a gallon of water. And it says that you have to add it to a minimum of 5 consecutive waterings or until the infestation reduces. So you can't just use this on one watering. Like I would actually suggest using it every time you water, which is what I was doing for a really long time. And it took me a while to get through this bottle, and I really didn't have any pest issues at all. It was actually a period of time when I didn't have a single spider mite issue. And then as soon as I ran out, boom, the spider mites were back. So anyway, if you want to use it as a foliar spray, the concentration is 2 tablespoons to 1 gallon of water. Spray every 3 to 4 days for 21 days. And it takes about 1 to 2 weeks to start working, and will continue to work for up to 3 weeks. It also says for best results, for the foliar spray at least, use distilled or chlorine-free water. We are going to get some watering done. I'm looking around and I'm realizing that pretty much this entire room needs to be watered. So while that isn't the most fun task, like I don't love watering, I'm gonna be honest, like I really I'm thinking about all the things that I don't like. Like I don't really like repotting, I don't really like watering, so I don't really know what part of plant care that I really do enjoy a lot. I think I just enjoy having them around and I'm willing to put up with the chores that surround it. I don't know if there's anybody else out there like that, but if you don't enjoy, you know, watering your plants and repotting them, that's okay. You don't have to in order to enjoy having plants. There's just some things that you have to do in order to keep them, and I'm willing to do it. Okay, sorry for the flicker. I'm gonna point that out in advance because I have the fan going in here. It's like 76 degrees. It's kind of warm, but I've pretty much finished watering everything in here. I have one more plant to water. Oh, actually 4. Right when I thought I was done. I have 4 more plants to water. And I wanted to show you this really cool development on my Philodendron glorious. So I just have been really loving Melanochrysum hybrids. I don't love Melanochrysum just as like a plant, but I really love the hybrids. However, when I was in Vintage Hill this morning, they have Melanochrysum for I think 60 bucks, and they're pretty small, but I was considering going and buying one to put on a plank, because when Melanochrysum are growing, like, you know, the big leaves, They're really incredible, and I feel like if I got it on a plank, like I have the Splendid on a plank, I feel